Hekima is a product of UNDP Africa's African Influencers for Development, their signature private sector partnership initiative. It seeks to bring together African leaders in business, academics, industry, finance, the arts, sports, and more to co-discover and co-implement innovative development solutions to unlock Africa's promise. Hekima, Swahili for Wisdom, is a series of groundbreaking and robust dialogue to mine and harvest thought leadership and homegrown solutions for Africa's sustainable and resilient development. Born at the height of the COVID-19 pandemic, the Hekima series opened the door to new ideas and approaches, accepting that some of the best development solutions will inevitably come from those who live the reality of the communities it seeks to support. Guest speaker at the event, Dr. Yeboah Amoako, who is a renowned economist, underscored the need for growth on the continent while linking it to productivity, export, competitiveness, and technological upgrade. He stressed that these parameters have revealed that Africa is still lagging behind.
We've come up with a simple definition of transformation. It means you need economic growth. But growth is not enough. Growth based on primary commodities and all that is not sustainable. You need more than growth. You need to diversify your exports and your production. You need to be competitive in export markets because most African countries export. You need to add productivity on farms, in business and all that. You need technology upgrading. All that leads to human capital. So we came up with something, growth plus depth. Growth is necessary, it's not sufficient. You need a D for diversification. You need the E for export competitiveness. You need the P for productivity. You need the T for technological upgrading. We've come up with what we call the African Transformation Index that uses these parameters to measure transformation. And we came up with the first report, 2014, where we looked at the past 50 years or so, and the result, and we compared to these countries, and we saw that African countries on these parameters we're not doing enough.
Responding to the reasons for which Africa has failed to make progress, Mr. Amoako disclosed that the lack of vision, planning, and consistency have been the major impediments to Africa's growth.
If you take strictly economic transformation that we are discussing, the first thing you need to know is that transformation is a long-term process. It takes 15, 20 years or so that you really need to work consistently. So that's one. So related to that, you need to have a plan. You need to have a vision of where you want to take it. Because there's this saying, countries that don't plan for the future don't do well there. Okay? So you need to have a vision, you need to have a plan. You related to that, you need to have plan, then you need to have consistency implementing that plan.
Private sector interveners who graced the event, Chief Executive Officer of Suku Technologies, Clins Akpelu, Jennifer Ewenam Afola, CEO of Jojoy Skincare, and Nadia Usu, a youth advocate, all shared varied thoughts on the event and the way forward to empowering small and medium-sized enterprises.
Development is more needed to be more profitable. You need to develop these all other things that are not essentially seen as profitable for you to build your profit. What I mean by this is this. If you take, for example, the UN Global Compact Principles, which talks about labor, the environment, talks about corruption and all of that. If you deal with corruption, do you know how many businesses that can be saved? Just making sure that projects that are being put out there for tender actually go through the process and the best company wins. Imagine if that is in place. You would have a smaller business, because of their competence in Kumasi, they will win a tender because of competence, not because they know somebody.
The key drivers of the value chain integration process are SMEs, and we see the advantages and benefit to trade under the AFCFTA than any other person. So we have to push this agenda by ourselves. How do we do this? By creating our own network. I would like to commend UNDP for being one of the institutions organizing sensitization workshops, training, boot camps, which I have been a beneficiary. I was part of a workshop training last year in Kigali, and that was where I got a deep understanding and knowledge of the AFCFTA.
The one thing is, young people are looking for information. Young people are very hungry to be part of conversations. Young people are challenging stereotypes. If you can look here, you can see young people are here. They want to listen. They are wanting to participate in intergenerational dialogues like this. Young people want it and want it very much. Most often at times we are being tokenized because they have to have a youth factor as part of things, and we don't want that. Young people are capable of leadership. Every now and then I tell people that for me, I want a leadership where young people are at the forefront of it. If we want to drive Africa's transformation, then we have to include young people, because if we're talking about innovations and technology, who is going to man the AI? Young people. Who is going to write the code? Young people, and especially young women.
Angela Lusiki heaped praise on today's youth for their commitment towards investing their all into their craft.
I want to say also that hearing the three of you, and you, our interveners, it's really where hope is born for me, because I see your clarity, of purpose. And sometimes we dismiss our youth as being reckless and irresponsible. I actually think this is the avenue through which we're going to get transformation and hope, because you have such clarity of purpose, and you are also very conscientious. And it's not just the three of you, it's all the young people I meet as I travel across this continent. I'm just really struck by what Africa has produced. I mean, my generation and yours, maybe we didn't completely fail, because these young people are the products of our investment as parents, as aunties, as uncles. And if you are anything to go by, then we did something right. Because I hear in your voices a commitment that goes beyond your age in terms of what you are investing your energy in. And as you said, it's diverse, it's looking at planet, people, and prosperity all together.